What is up? So excited to be here, man. It's been a minute. I've been sick, but I'm happy to be back here with you guys today. Welcome to the Intentional Grounding pregame show here on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network. I am your host, Sterling, and I'm going to get you ready for this Vikings game, man. We got so much to discuss. We got a lot to talk about here. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm excited to bring it to you today. I don't know how you guys are going to be watching the game. If you're at the game, if you're at home, just know that our show today is brought to you by Picasso's Pizza. Treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day. Picasso's. We are Buffalo Pizza, shipping local and nationwide. Order online at picassospizza.net. And our other sponsor here is Slide a Shelf. This is where you can reach what matters. Man, what a freaking day. I don't know where you guys have, I don't know if you guys have any home improvement projects you got going on, but I definitely want to make sure I tell you about Slide a Shelf. Bills fans, are your cabinets in need of a timeout? Say goodbye to fixed dimension options, wasted space, and long waits. Slide a Shelf offers high quality, customized, perfect fitting slide-out shelves and cabinet organizers that make it easy to reach and organize the items you use most in your everyday life. Check them out at slideashelf.com and use the promo code Intentional Grounding to get 10% off 2 or more standard slide-out shelves plus free shipping. Visit their website at www.slideashelf.com and let them help you reach what matters. Now we've paid the dues. We've paid the dues. Oh, you say you can't hear me, huh? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We're going to roll with that. If you cannot hear me, tell me in the chat if there's something going on with my audio. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, you can hear me now. Okay. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Sorry about that. All right. So, are you guys ready for today? Are you freaking ready? Look, I know. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. All right. You know, we're the Bills lost last week. And I know a lot of us are I know I was feeling a certain type of way. Man. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but when I watch a game, the Bills particularly, I don't really get excited. Like, I'm excited, but I don't like cheer and go crazy because I just have to see the clock hit 0 to really be excited about a win, right? And so I'm watching the Jets game, and the Bills come out. You know, Josh Allen, 42-yard pass, Stephon Diggs on the right side, boom, like we're touchdown. We're in this thing. Like, you're excited, and then you start to see the Jets creep in, and you know we've talked about this, right? And long story short, the Bills lose. Now, we're not going to blame it on the rest, but the rest, you know, there's Tremaine Edmonds' interception that was completely missed. Can we talk about that for a minute? I thought Tremaine had full possession of that ball. All right. But it's the NFL that happens. Like, the Jets are a good team, you know, in terms of, you know, their defense is really good. Their offense is still trying to find its identity. Zach Wilson's not good yet, right? But we lose this game, and you just, like, it's so easy to be captivated in the moment of the season, you know? Like, let's say the Bills lose 2 more games this year, right? We're not going to think about the Jets. But during that week, during the game, you're like, shit, we just lost to the Jets. And this is not the same Jets of old. This is a new Jets team. I mean, they've put together, they put together themselves a little squad over there. So kudos, shout out to the Jets, man. They got us, but we're still number 1 in the AFC East, and we're number 1 in the AFC. The Bills, no NFL season is linear, right? Where you're going to win the games you're supposed to win, you're going to lose the games you're supposed to lose. It doesn't happen that way. We saw that last year when the Bills lost to the Jaguars, right? But the Bills ended up playing the Chiefs in the divisional round and almost beat them. Had to go to overtime. You see what I'm saying? Had the Bills won that game, we probably would have won the Super Bowl. But so it's never linear, and it's week. This is a league that's week to week. This is a week to week league, and so as much as we were frustrated last week, it's never as good as you think it is, and it's never as bad as you think it is, right? What's up, Jackie? Jackie, how are you? Thank you. Thomas, my guy Thomas in here. What's up, man? We got to link up. Scott Blakely. Scott Blakely is up in here. And Jake says, let's go Buffalo. So leave a shout out if you're in here, man. But make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to Intentional Grounding Podcast. All of our stuff here at Buffalo Rumblings is amazing. It's amazing. But I got a jam-packed show for you guys today. So real quick, let's go ahead and get this out the way. AFC East standings. Okay, so I kind of do a power ranking every week based off of just the AFC East. I have the Bills on the arrow up just because Josh Allen's playing today. And we're going to talk about Josh Allen's play here in a little bit, but the Bills are sitting at 6-2. We got the Jets at 6-3 who beat our Buffalo Bills last week. They have an arrow up. The Dolphins, surprisingly, man, that you want to talk about no season is linear. The Miami Dolphins, man, they've been through a lot this season, bro. And they're 6-3. Tua, as much as people love or hate Tua, he's playing pretty well. But again, when you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, I mean, there's not many offenses that are going to stop you. You could put you and I at quarterback, and I think we do all right. And then you got the Patriots at 5-4, and there's a reason why I have them arrow down. It's because I don't know what Bill Belichick is doing from a personnel standpoint. How he handles the quarterbacks, how he handles his roster. I can't, even though they're winning, right? The Bills are the only team that have a current losing streak in the division. Everybody else has won a game or multiple games in a row. But the Patriots are they're down arrow for me, 5-4. So that's the AFC East standings. But every year, my favorite part of the show, I talk about, what's the cat for the week? And what this means is that every week there's a storyline that I feel like is cap. That is BS, not true. We need to look at further. And the cap of the week is that the Bills have a number 2 wide receiver. And there was so much attention, so much hope, so much gaslighting. Gabe Davis, or Gabriel Davis as he likes to be called, coming into the season. I'm not a Gabriel Davis hater, okay? I think Gabriel Davis has value, but I don't think Gabriel Davis is a number 2 wide receiver. He's not playing like it in 10 weeks. He's not playing like it. Let's talk about the Jets game. He didn't show up. Gabriel Davis did not show up. And he's had a disappearing act a few games this season. There was a crucial third down that he just dropped. Coming back to the ball, he dropped it. Okay? I'm not, when I go back and watch the All 22, I'm not seeing separation. He's not separating. And then at the end of the Jets game, this is a 6'2", 6'3" wide receiver. When the ball is thrown in the air like that, Josh Allen threw a 70-yard pass. 70 yards in the air. You're going to try to catch it with your body? What? Ask yourself this. If that's Tyler Lockett, he's a smaller receiver, but he plays really big. You think he's just going to try to catch it like that? If that's DK Metcalf, does he try to catch it like that? AJ Brown, does he try to catch it with his hands, with his body? No. The answer is no. You have to go up there and you got to go get that freaking ball. You got to go get that ball, man. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show you Gabriel Davis stats this season. This is my man's stat line. Okay. Now, for perspective's sake, I'm going to tell you what Stephon Diggs has done this season as you look at those Gabriel Davis stats. Okay. So Stephon Diggs on the season has 60 receptions, 83 targets, 857 yards, 7 touchdowns. And I'm going to skip, as you see Gabe Davis' stat right here. Devin Singletary has 27 receptions on 35 targets. Gabe Davis has 38 targets for 207 yards and 1 touchdown. Dawson Knox, 20 receptions on 27 targets, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah McKenzie, and I'm not a big fan of McKenzie's game right now. I think he's a very limited player, but 20 receptions off of 30 targets, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. You got Gabriel Davis sitting here at 18 receptions on 38 targets, 451 yards, which that's amazing, right? So, you know, I think he's averaging probably about 27 yards per reception. And 4 touchdowns. I get that, you know, he's a deep threat, but you have to be able to do more. And Josh, outside of Stephon Diggs, there is not a viable receiving option on this team. There is not. And I think that's a problem. You know, oh, we got some comments in here. Yeah. Huge average per catch, though, and decent yardage. Absolutely. I'm not taking that from him, but we labeled him as being a complete number 2 wide receiver, not just a deep threat guy, right? This is a guy that's going to command $20 million in a couple years. So we got him under contract next year, and that's it. And he's going to want $20 million a season. Are you okay paying Gabriel Davis that kind of money? We pay Stephon Diggs that amount of money. Do you want to pay Gabriel Davis about $18 to $20 million a season for those numbers to drop passes? And then people say, well, he was injured earlier in the year. Okay. I tell you what, though, that doesn't hurt his hands. Like, I know you got an ankle. Maybe from a timing perspective, I'll give you some of that, but it doesn't hurt your hands. He's got to play better. He's got to play better. This is great. Thank you, Thomas, for saying this. A number 2 receiver can't have 40 catches on the season. He needs to be in the 60-70 range to be a viable number 2. That's absolutely right. Yep. He's a long strider. He's at his best downfield. Okay, so we talked about, I hit on that a little earlier. Downfield, but you catch it with your body? Come on, man. You got to pluck that thing out of the air. You are strong. Gabe Davis is strong, man. It's just frustrating. So when we hear about all this stuff about, oh, well, we don't need Odell Beckham Jr. You sure about that? Are we sure that we don't need an Odell Beckham Jr. in this offense? Because I can think of multiple ways we could use the Odell Beckham Jr. in this offense. I'm just saying, guys, we gotta get real with ourselves here. The Bills do not have the bevy of weapons from a receiving talent that we thought coming into the season. They don't. Could we use Cole Beasley minus the politics? Yeah. I'd use Cole Beasley right now. Jamison Crowder, if he's healthy, would love to have Jamison Crowder back, but he's out. He's not going to be back. So let's talk about Dawson Knox. We got Dawson Knox, but he's not. It seems like he's not being featured as a pass catcher in this offense. He's just not getting the targets, and we're paying him a sizable amount of money. What, $15 million a year or something like that? That's a lot of money for a tight end. I love Dawson Knox, but we're still at the midway point of the season pretty much, right? We need to start seeing more from these guys. We need to see, and this is a game where we're going to talk about what the Vikings have at cornerback. And Gabe Davis needs to show up, man. Odell Beckham Jr. is a necessity. They need him. So I'm a big fan of Odell Beckham Jr. Not to say that I hate Gabriel Davis, but I wouldn't want to pay that amount of money that he's going to command. And he's got to show up as a number 2 wide receiver, or I'm going to, if I'm Brandon Beane, you got to draft one. Coming into this offseason, this is the first offseason where the Bills are going to have to stop spending so much capital on defense. You're going to have to invest in the offense at premium positions. You need a wide receiver. You're going to need an offensive lineman, 2 probably, right? You got to get a wide receiver, quit kicking the can. You got to. Or sign Odell Beckham to a 2-year deal. You can kick it that way. So that's the cap. The Bills need a number 2 wide receiver. If you don't agree, let me know in the comment section. So who's next? We got the Minnesota Vikings coming in at 7-1. So Minnesota, they are one of the better football teams in the league, according to the record. According to the record, the Minnesota Vikings are one of the better teams in the league. In terms of where do I see them as a what are they really? Well, so here are the wins on the Minnesota Vikings. So they beat Green Bay. We know Green Bay is one of the worst teams in the league. They lost to the Eagles. They actually got smoked by the Eagles 24-7. Week 2, you're still trying to iron it out. Totally fine. Okay. Then you got the Detroit Lions, where Detroit Lions, their offense has been really good this year. But you win 28-24 there. And then you play the Saints, who the Saints are not very good either. You win that one 28-25. That's what the score was. They played the Bears, which the Bears, they're still trying to find their way. They got a young quarterback that's getting better by the week, which is awesome, but they have no weapons. And you win that game 29-22. You beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins have nothing on defense, it seems like. 24-16. You beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are in so much disarray with Kyler Murray and the whole Call of Duty and his attention span and his dedication to the game. The Cardinals are not very good. And then you squeaked by the Commanders last week, 20-17. So I don't believe that, even though their record looks good, I don't believe that this is one of the top 5 teams in the league. I just don't. They're going to have to prove it today. They've and the Eagles are another team. Even though they're undefeated, and they might go throughout the entire season undefeated, but they haven't played anybody. Play Dallas when Dak Prescott's ready to go and roaring. I think Dallas will get them. I think the Giants might get them when they play. So I know we look at that record and we may be like, damn, like these dudes are 7-1, but it ain't all what it's cracked out to be. Am I saying they're a bad football team? I'm not saying they're a bad football team, but I'm saying that there are opportunities to be had on this Minnesota Vikings football team. And so when we talk about those opportunities, let's go ahead before we get into the schematics of the Minnesota Vikings. Let's talk about the injuries for the Bills. I know the big elephant in the room is Josh Allen's elbow, and he's playing today. Thank God he's playing today. That's why I'm wearing his jersey. Now there's a lot of talk about how are we protecting Josh Allen the right way. And when it comes to injuries, the Bills do a fantastic job of protecting their players, being very cognizant of what the doctors have to say, the treatment that's involved. And I think the Bills are one of the better teams in the league when it comes to taking care of their players in terms of the injury bug. We've been plagued with injuries all season, but we saw Josh Allen get that UCL sprain. This is something that Josh has dealt with in his career. I think he missed three games in his rookie season because of that. Now it's crept up last week. And I think it's one of those things where Josh can take it easy and it'll heal on its own. Now, if we see another throw where, it's that happens again, I think we're in trouble. I think it would be there's potential there. I'm not a doctor, but I mean, let's use common sense here. If you have a UCL sprain and that throwing motion, your hand gets hit the way it did, I think you may have some issues there. Okay. But let's just hope for the best, knock on wood, that Josh Allen stays healthy. So Josh Allen is playing today. All right. Gregory Rousseau is out, and so is Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer's dealing with the elbow, and I don't know if you guys seen the video, but Jordan Poyer's elbow looks gnarly, man. It looks like a golf ball sitting on the back of that thing. So, man, you just hope, Poyer's been dealing with all kinds of injuries this season. And then you got Gregory Rousseau with a high ankle sprain, so he's week to week. I think we'll see him, if not next week, the week after. And then Trey White. Is Trey White playing today? I haven't really seen anything saying that he wasn't playing. So maybe this is the debut breakout game for Trey White. That would be so awesome to see. Or maybe he's, suited up, but he really, as a reserve. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll get some more details on that closer to game day or kickoff. So that's kind of the injury update. Spencer Brown is out with an ankle, or he's limited. He may play. And Spencer Brown, he's been hit or miss this season. I don't feel like he's another guy that hasn't met the expectations that we expected for him this year so far. So let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. So, this is a team that has Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, TJ Hawkinson on offense, Adam Thielen. They got weapons. Kirk Cousins is not a terrible quarterback. I feel like he's very average. All right, he can get the job done. He's a very average quarterback. So when you look at Dalvin Cook, let's break down Dalvin Cook for a minute. He's one of the best running backs in the league. I mean, he's having a really good year. I don't know if you guys saw last week, but he went out on an out and up and caught it with one hand in the back of the end zone. I mean, dude is just Dalvin Cook is nasty. He's got 608 rushing yards on the season. And he's got 5 touchdowns, 4.6 yards per carry. Then you got Justin Jefferson over there, 867 yards off of 59 catches, 84 targets, 3 touchdowns. So he hasn't been getting to the end zone as much as people thought. If you're a fantasy owner of Justin Jefferson, you kind of want to see a little bit of uptick there in production when it comes to getting touchdowns. And then TJ Hawkinson, he's got 9 receptions for 70 yards. Now, that's with his new team, obviously. So TJ Hawkinson is a good player. I really liked him when he was coming out of college in the draft process. And then you got Kirk Cousins, who's averaging 6.6 yards per attempt on passes and about 250 yards per game through the air. He's got 89.5 passer rating with 6 interceptions. So Kirk Cousins is who we thought he was. He's all right. And y'all, I don't know if y'all saw him last week, but he was kind of swagged out with all this ice on after their win against the Commanders 2017. But I do like what they did after the game on the plane, and he's doing his little dance with all this ice on him. It was cool, man, seeing him relate to the players like that. But I don't care about none of that today. I don't care how swaggy freaking what is Kirk Cousins say? You like that? What is this corny? Get out of here. It's so cheesy, man. But this is an offense that if you're not careful, they're going to bite you. Now, so every week when I go into watching the film of the teams, I go, how can this team hurt the Bills? And I would say that the running game, like if you don't think that what the Bills have put out on tape the past few weeks in the run defense, you don't think that they're going to come out and pound Dalvin Cook. Oh, and by the way, did you know that James Cook is a brother of Dalvin Cook? Crazy. Crazy. You may hear about that today. But if I'm the Vikings, I'm going to pound the ball with Dalvin Cook. Everything starts with Dalvin Cook. Everything starts with Dalvin Cook. So they're going to run the ball between the tackles. They're going to run it outside. They're going to get Dalvin Cook catches out of the backfield. So get ready. Can the Bills find an answer to stop the run? I have my issues with the run defense. It's like the fits are bad sometimes, and our defensive ends are playing the pass too much. They're taking bad rush lanes. Von Miller, especially, getting too windy and bendy on the outside, letting these running backs and quarterbacks run right past you, man. We got to stop that. Sacks are great, and I appreciate y'all want to get to the quarterback, but you got to be disciplined in the run game. You know, the Jets ran it down our throats last week. Second half, they ran it down our throats. So the Bills are going to have to play better run defense, man. Now we're getting Matt Milano back, so that's going to be huge. Matt Milano will definitely help. But keep in mind when we look at the run game woes, we got to keep in mind that the Bills run a nickel defense. So Taron Johnson is constantly on the field, and they don't want to take Taron Johnson off. But you know you're at a disadvantage at some times because you're lighter. They're lighter boxes. So a lot of the pressure is on the defensive line up front to control the line of scrimmage and make plays. And I don't feel like, you know, Ed Oliver had some moments last week, but he hasn't. I want to see more from him. I want to see more from Tim Settle. I got to see more, man. This is, again, the season is not linear. You're going to have your ebbs and flows, your ups and downs, but I was expecting a breakout season for Ed Oliver, and I want to see him. I want to see him make more impact plays, especially in the run game. Let's see. Our last 6 quarters have been terrible. They've been bad. Some bad football by the Bills. Josh Allen's to blame there. Now, kind of going back to and if I'm all over the place, I'm sorry, but you know, I have my notes here, but sometimes different things hit me. So we're talking about these 6 quarters of Josh Allen playing bad. So we're talking about the second half of the Green Bay game, and then you have the Jets last week, right? Where Josh Allen is like he's pressing. And I think the reason why he's pressing to make plays is because, again, outside of Stephon Diggs, who's making a play? Nobody, right? So we're seeing Josh Allen want to press, and he can't do that. He's going to have to get, you know, the Jets played a lot of cover 6. So, you know, they're saying, Josh, throw it short, and we'll rally to the ball. Throw it short, we'll rally to the ball because we're going to, everything you're going to throw deep, we're going to be all over that. And if you got a good corner like Sauce, you're gonna have some success. But so Josh has to take what the defense gives him, and he said it. He said first to say, "Hey man, I play like crap." It's hard to win in this league when your quarterback plays like crap, and he's right. So we need to see Josh Allen improve. You know, this is probably the best medicine now that he's kind of dealing with a little injury. Maybe he can just kind of take it easy this week and allow not press too much and try to do too much, and kind of let himself heal for another week and see where it goes. But Josh Allen has to play better. We got it. Can we get a Khalil Shakir at slot and take McKenzie out? It's got to happen, man. I'm sick and tired of the McKenzie experiment. To me, it's over. He's a marginal wide receiver, and that's cool. Like number 4, number 5, but starting slot, I'd rather see Khalil Shakir. Give me him all day. So we talked about Dalvin Cook's impact on the game, right? And I looked at, after watching the film, I wanted to see what PFF had to say about their offensive linemen and pass pro. Like I feel like Dalvin Cook will get 80 to 90 yards rushing today. 1 touchdown, right? So he's going to get his. He's going to eat. But what can the Bills do? And we talk about this a lot every week. We talk about how the Bills could take advantage of these matchups on the opposing team's offensive line. It just doesn't happen. Again, Ed Oliver, Jordan Phillips, Daquan Jones has been great, right? He's been doing his responsibility, but we could talk about Vaughn and we could talk about Rousseau. We could talk about Epinesa and Basham, man. It's just uninspiring to me for those 2 guys, to be honest. Shaq does his job, but when I look at this interior offensive line for the Vikings, this is what PFF grades them. So you got Ed Ingram, 30.9 pass block grade. 30.9. That's awful. Ezra Cleveland, 40.4. That's not good. Okay. Garrett Bradbury is a 64.9, but that's average to below average. So what that means is, so they may be good at in the run game, but pass protection, they're not. And so, again, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but Ed Oliver, where you at, man? Right? Jordan Phillips, where you at? These guys got to show up today. You can win. You have opportunities to disrupt this Minnesota Vikings offense if you guys can kind of, make some impact plays. You got to make some impact plays today. So and then Brian O'Neill at right tackle, he's been phenomenal. He's been really good. 70.8 for a right tackle, pass rush, pass blocking grade. And then Christian Darrisaw, listen to this, 84.6. And when you watch the film, that grade looks like that grade. He's been amazing this year. But the Bills have to be able to control the line of scrimmage. When their defense is on the field, the Bills got to be able to control the line of scrimmage there. And you got your guys up front in the interior. This is where you can really make some hay today. Now, again, I feel like I say this every week, and it really doesn't happen that often, but maybe today is different. Let's see. So the Bills currently, they're winning games at home by 26 points. 26 points at home. So they're blowing people out. Will that be the case today? I don't know. Rob says, Little Dirty, Big Ed, Gabe, and J Phil looking at y'all today. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. He got to show up to play. Like I'm saying, you guys got to show up to play. So now when the Bills have the ball on offense, so there's two trains of thought here. Do you let Josh Allen take it easy and focus on the run game and the short pass game to where Josh isn't pressing so much? Or do you just take the reins off and let Josh Allen just play Josh Allen football and throw the ball up and down the field? And if they want to do the second half, what I just mentioned, that's probably the best idea, because this Minnesota Vikings defensive line is pretty good. They're pretty good. They got a really stout run defense, but it's through the air where they struggle. So Shannon Sullivan is a right cornerback. He's not been really good. He's a really good run defender, but he's not good when it comes to clamping receivers, man. He's 46.3 when it comes to the pass. Like he's struggling when it comes to coverage. Okay. There's an 81 passer rating when he's targeted. So Josh Allen, Shannon Sullivan on the right side, you got to go after him. Go after him. Okay. So whether that's Gabe Davis or however which side they want to put Diggs on, these guys aren't mirroring receivers. So, he's going to stay on the right side. When you watch the film, Shannon stays on the right side, and you're going to have Patrick Peterson on the other side. Patrick Peterson, for an old aging player, he's been looking pretty good this season. He's been looking pretty good. He's got an interception on the year. And he's only allowing, let's see. Passer rating is 81. I'm sorry, I take that. Shannon Sullivan is 118.8 when targeted. My notes say Patrick Peterson is 81. So yikes on Shannon Sullivan. So Gabriel Davis, maybe this is the game where you can come shine today, because you got a guy that you should be able to beat. And please use your hands to catch the football. Can someone check for me and see if Trey White is active today? Is he playing? I would love to know if Trey White is actually playing today. I can't look right now, but we will. Yeah, let me know in the comment section if he's playing today. So I think so. In order to have success against this team, what we need to do, I think you need to pass the ball. Okay, Trey is out. Thank you, Jake. Pass the ball over the field, man. If you got two corners and they got a safety, Harrison Smith, he's okay now. He's not this player that he once was. Man, this play your game. Play your game. Get James Cook more involved in the offense. Last week I felt like he played well in a short amount of time. He played well. Get Nyheim Hines going. I was excited to see Nyheim. I was excited, even though I knew it was his first week. Now that we know that he's got another week in the system, let's see what he does today. Maybe we see a good little dose of Nyheim Hines. Get these playmakers involved in this offense, and that goes with Ken Dorsey. That's Ken Dorsey's job to scheme this up. All right, so let's see. But I think Josh Allen can find some success through the air. This pass defense is not that very good. It's not very good. So attack him. You need to attack. Josh Allen, attack. So we talked about if the Bills can stop the run. We're going to see. I think, like I said, Dalvin Cook's going to hit his 80 to 90. So before we, I'm still feeling under the weather. You can guys kind of tell. So I'm not gonna beat a dead horse to keep going and going because I definitely need to get back to rest. But and thank you guys for being so cool today. Seriously, coming in, tuning in to the pregame show here on Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network. Definitely appreciate all the love, man. You guys have been amazing. Every week I do a slide a shelf player of the game, right? This is the guy that I'm projecting to be the player of the game. Okay. And, after thinking long and hard about this, I just feel like, when you look at this guy and how much of a dog he is and how much of an edge he brings to the table, I think we'd be crazy not to think that the player of the game wouldn't be this guy, Stefon freaking Diggs. Who's going to cover him? You going to put Patrick Peterson on Stefon Diggs? I don't think so. That's Diggs all day, every day. But my prediction stat line for him, I think it's 9 catches, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he has a big day today. This is his former team, guys. His former team. I'm sure he still has love for his guys over there. But this is his former team, and Stefon Diggs is going to show up to play. Now, I would love if this was somebody else that could get player of the game outside of Josh Allen. That would be great. I would love that. But if I had to put money on it today, it's Stefon Diggs. So if you got any touchdown bettors for touchdowns, I bet that Stefon Diggs gets himself a touchdown today. EB says, "What's up, man? How you doing, bro?" Thank you, Ryan. Trey is inactive. So Trey, that's not a surprise, right? That's why Xavier Rhodes, they called him up from the practice squad. I don't know. I don't think he'd play. It depends on what they do with Kyrie Elam. But Trey will be out for another week, and you don't need to rush him back. The main thing is get Trey going 3-4 weeks before the playoffs and let him do his thing, man. Get back to being healthy. So if I had to do a stat line projection, for Josh Allen, I'm going to say that Josh Allen is 27 of 35 for 310 and 3 touchdowns. I think that's fair. 35 attempts, so you got to think about, that load management in terms of how many passes they're going to allow Josh to throw. I think 30 is a good number, right? I wouldn't get into the 40s this week. I still want to be, if I'm managing him, I want to be pretty careful when it comes to that. But I think Josh Allen can have a good game today. Okay, Kyrie Elam is also, and I just saw that the active list. So Balin Spector, Kyrie Elam, Jordan Poyer, Greg Rousseau, Tommy Sweeney, Trey, and Justin Murray. So Spencer Brown is playing today. Okay, let's see what Spencer Brown can do. Let's see what he can do. So, prediction for this game, I'm going to go 27-20 Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills come out here. I don't think they're gonna get that 26-point buffer that they've been getting at home this year. But I do think they win this game, and I think they're going to figure out. Hopefully, the Bills can figure out the run defense. That'd be great. Maybe we see a little James Cook. I mean, come on, man. This is playing against his brother. Give him some run today, man. Let's see some Kyrie Elam, but I do think the Bills will win this game. But thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. You guys have been awesome. I'm still feeling sick, but I'm getting better each day. I think it was COVID or something I don't know, but whatever's going around, I got it. All right. But thank you guys for tuning in to the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast Network. I appreciate it. I am your host, Sterling. And as we say every week, go freaking Bills. We got to get that dub. All right, McDermott's not losing 2 games in a freaking row. It's not happening, bro. So however you guys are watching the game, and make sure you do it with your loved ones, do it with your friends, man. Go get some wings for me. Get some wings, because out here in Denver, we ain't got wings like y'all got in Buffalo. We ain't got pizza like you guys got in Buffalo, man. I'll be coming back at some point this season. So I'm gonna hit up all the spots. But hey, man, go Bills. Let's get this dub, and we out of here.